Hello and welcome to PC Builders Club. At the current temperatures, not only we sweat a lot, so do our processors. Cooling is an important part of the computer. That's why we are testing 9 all-in-one water coolers to keep your CPUs cool.
Water or air? The topic named processor coolers is often a tricky one. On one hand, the processor cooler is an important part of the PC, on the other hand, it doesn't have to cost too much. Our air cooler test proved this. More and more people are using all-in-one water coolers in their computer instead of the air cooler. This should keep the temperatures on a low level on the one hand, and on the other hand also contribute to the style of the whole PC. As for cooling capacity, AIO water coolers are not always better. For example, large air coolers usually perform even better. When it comes to noise, AIO water coolers are usually the better option. In terms of design, in most cases they also have an advantage. As test samples for our test, we selected 9 different coolers from AeroCool, Be Quiet, Cooler Master, Corsair, Enermax, NZXT, Raijintek and Thermaltake. We only tested coolers with radiators over 240mm in size, as they are usually the better option between performance and noise. The AeroCool Project 7P7 L240 is the Taiwanese manufacturer's first water cooler. It comes with a 240mm radiator and 2 120mm fans. These are equipped with RGB LEDs, which can be controlled with an additional controller or the mainboard via a 4-pin adapter. The pump is colored with a controllable LED effect tube, which fits well to the transparent design. The cooling circuit can also be refilled via an inlet in the pump. The P7 L240 is available for €100. The Be Quiet Silent Loop 360 is the largest AIO in our test. It has a 360mm radiator and 3 120mm Pure Wings 2 fans. Be Quiet gives all silent loop models a simple appearance and a very quiet operation. The water cooler is designed in black all the way through. The tubes are covered with a spiral spring for protection. The coolant can be refilled via a filling opening on the pump as well. Be Quiet charges around €139 for the premium cooler. The Cooler Master MasterLiquid ML240RA ARGB is definitely worth a look, especially for RGB lovers. The AIO comes with a 240mm radiator and 2 120mm fans. These have transparent fan blades and addressable RGB lighting. This can be controlled either via the mainboard features or an included handy controller at the push of a button or via software. The pump also offers the same RGB lighting and an illuminated Cooler Master logo. The MasterLiquid ML240RA ARGB is available for around €110. The Corsair H115i Pro RGB is the latest release from the manufacturer. With a 280mm radiator, it offers more cooling surface than the smaller AIOs. In addition, there are 2 140mm ML series fans. These should be very quiet, especially under high loads. Corsair adds RGB lighting only on the pump. The lighting and performance of the pump can be controlled via a USB 2 connection and Corsair link. The H115i Pro RGB costs about €128. The Enermax LiqFusion 240 RGB is another water cooler from Enermax. It comes with a 240mm radiator and 2 120mm fans. These are equipped with remarkable RGB rings, which can be controlled and addressed via the mainboard. The cooling head is also equipped with an addressable RGB ring. Inside, a wheel turns in the water stream. For the control, there is an included controller and the possibility to control via the mainboard. What is special about the AIO is that the pump is not located in the cooling head, instead underneath the radiator on the tubes. The LiqFusion 240 RGB can be refilled via a filling port on the cooling head. Enermax supplies a small bottle of coolant and a cable to bridge the power supply unit and operate the pump. Enermax charges for the LiqFusion 240 RGB a good €95. The Enermax Liqmax II 240 is the performance version of the manufacturer. It also comes with a 240mm radiator and two 120mm fans. However, there is no RGB lighting here. Only the pump head has an integrated white LED illumination of the logo and a ring. The fan blades are ribbed and can be set to 3 different levels in addition to PWM controllability. The Liqmax 240 is with €74 the cheapest cooler in our test. The Kraken series from NZXT is one of the most popular series in our community. The NZXT Kraken X52 is no exception. It comes with a 240mm radiator and two black 120mm AER fans. The special thing about it is the reflecting pump head. Without lighting, it is a smooth mirror surface. Inside there are down-reaching RGB rings and an illuminated NZXT logo. Everything is controlled via a USB 2 interface. The pump head also has an integrated fan hub, allowing both the lighting and the fan curve to be controlled with NZXT CAM software. About €137 have to be paid for the Kraken X52. The Raijintek Orcus 240 is a new edition from the Taiwanese manufacturer. It is designed primarily for a quiet operation, but also for a good style. The AIO has a 240mm radiator and two 120mm fans with addressable RGB LEDs. Raijintek also includes a controller with remote control. The AIO is identical in construction to the Enermax LiqFusion 240 RGB and has a similar cooling head as well as the pump on the tubes. There is also a small water wheel which rotates during operation and a controllable RGB interior lighting. This cooler can also be refilled via a filling port on the cooling head. Raijintek also includes the coolant directly, but does not include the cable to bridge the power supply. The Raijintek Orcus 240 is available for €100. The Thermaltake Floe Riing RGB 280 TT Premium Edition is the ultimate premium model of the manufacturer. It comes with a 280mm radiator and two 140mm fans. These are RGB controllable and addressable. Thermaltake also includes a suitable controller. Over a USB 2 connection, the controller can be operated also with Thermaltake's TT RGB Plus software and a smartphone app. This allows fan curves and lighting to be set very precisely. The Floe Riing RGB 280 TT Premium Edition is the most expensive cooler in our test with a price of €160. As a test object, every CPU cooler had to cool our Intel Core i7 7700K on a MSI Z270 Gaming M7. We built the whole thing into a dark beige 700 from Be Quiet. We did all the tests with the case closed. The 3 case fans from the Silentwings 3 series were constantly set at 40%. The fans of the coolers started at 30 degrees Celsius at 20% speed and increased continuously up to 100% speed at 70 degrees Celsius. We used the paste supplied with each cooler as the heat conduction paste. As testing program we use Prime 95 and Blend Test. Besides the standard settings of the i7 7700K, we also overclock the processor manually to 4.8 GHz at 1.28 volt for each cooler, adding additional heat. Per test run, our processor had to endure a 20-minute blend test. We determined the maximum, minimum and average temperatures with real temp and HW monitor. The exact results of the test can be found in our article, which is linked in the video description. On default clock speeds, the processor temperatures vary between 68 and 73 degrees Celsius in blend test. The Cooler Master MasterLiquid ML240R ARGB and the NZXT Kraken X52 together take the crown with 68 degrees Celsius. Directly behind them follow the Be Quiet Silent Loop 360 and the Enermax LiqFusion 240 RGB with 69 degrees Celsius each. 1 degree worse is the Thermaltake Floe Riing 280 with 70 degrees Celsius. The Enermax Liqmax II, the Corsair H115i Pro RGB and the Raijintek Orcus 240 achieved the same result with 72 degrees Celsius each. The lowest performer is the AeroCool Project 7P7 L240 with 73 degrees Celsius. The results become more interesting in overclocked mode. In this mode we clocked our i7 7700K to 4.8 GHz at 1.28 volt to create much more heat. The best result is now at 80 degrees Celsius. This time the victory goes to the Thermaltake Floe Riing 280 RGB TT Premium Edition. With 82 and 84 degrees Celsius, the NZXT Kraken X52 and the Be Quiet Silent Loop 360 follow in second and third place. The Be Quiet cooling is on the same level with the Enermax LiqFusion 240 RGB, which also reaches 84 degrees Celsius. This is followed by the Cooler Master MasterLiquid ML240R ARGB and the Enermax Liqmax II 240 with 85 degrees Celsius each. The Corsair H115i Pro RGB is 1 degree warmer and reaches 86 degrees Celsius. The AeroCool Project 7P7 L240 with 89 degrees Celsius and the Raijintek Orcus 240 with 90 degrees Celsius are slightly further behind. All of our tested AIO coolers scored quite similar in our test. We therefore hardly make any concrete recommendations. It depends above all on what you value most. For those who prefer a very quiet operation, the Corsair H115i Pro RGB is the right choice. In addition to a simple design, the AIO sometimes delivers the quietest fans. The cooling performance is fine, but reduced a bit for the quiet operation. For 128 euros you get a solid total package. For those who like it even simpler, the Be Quiet Silent Loop 360 is the right choice. With 3 fans and a 360mm radiator, the cooling performance is very good, while the AIO remains quiet. It is available for 139 euros. We were especially surprised by the affordable Enermax LiqFusion 240 RGB. For 95 euros it offers a very good cooling performance and the design also doesn't miss out thanks to the addressable RGB LEDs at the fans as well as at the pump head. It is not whisper quiet, but within acceptable limits. Those who prefer it quiet but don't want to do without the RGB lighting should go for the Raijintek Orcus 240 for around 100 euros. Its cooling performance is lower than that of the other AIOs, but very quiet. Both AIOs also come with a refill kit, but it's a pity that Raijintek doesn't put a cable set in the packaging to bridge the power supply unit. Also worth a recommendation is the Cooler Master MasterLiquid ML240R ARGB. It delivers the best result in standard mode and can also keep the processor overclocked at decent temperatures. The addressable RGB lighting puts the finishing touches to the whole cooler. For 110 euros you are not doing anything wrong here. The NZXT Kraken X52 and the Thermaltake Floe Riing 280 RGB TT Premium Edition are the absolute premium coolers. The Thermaltake Riing 280 already draws attention to this with its name tongue twister, but also delivers the best value of 80 degrees Celsius in the overclocked test. Their complex RGB lighting with its own controller, controlled software and even an app are important features in terms of style and really beautiful to look at. With 160 euros it's the most expensive, but can be worth its money. The Thermaltake AIO is closely followed by the NZXT Kraken X52 in the overclocked test. At 82 degrees Celsius it delivers the second best result and even the best on standard clock. The eye-catching yet discreet design with an RGB mirror on the cooling head of the AIO is also a reason for many to buy that we can absolutely understand. NZXT combines good cooling performance with a stylish design. The price of 137 euros is definitely worth it. We do not recommend the Enermax Liqmax II 240 and the AeroCool Project 7 P7L 240. The Liqmax II is the cheapest AIO in the test with 75 euros, but gets disturbingly loud under high load. The results are okay, but the few euros more for the brother LiqFusion 240 RGB are well invested. In our eyes, the AeroCool P7L 240 only makes sense if it is purchased together with an AeroCool Project 7 case. The required RGB controller is already included there. For 100 euro it is as expensive as a LiqFusion 240 RGB. After our extensive all-in-one water cooler test, we also have some awards to present. We award special achievements in 4 different categories. The PC Builders Club Style Award goes to the Cooler Master MasterLiquid 240R ARGB, the Enermax LiqFusion 240 RGB, the NZXT Kraken X52 and the Thermaltake Floe Riing 280 RGB TT Premium Edition. The PC Builders Club Performance Award goes to the Cooler Master MasterLiquid ML240R ARGB, the NZXT Kraken X52 and the Thermaltake Floe Riing 280 RGB TT Premium Edition. The PC Builders Club Best Value Award goes to the Enermax LiqFusion 240 RGB and the Raijintek Orcus 240. The PC Builders Club Excellence Award goes to the Corsair H115i Pro RGB, the NZXT Kraken X52 and the Thermaltake Floe Riing 280 RGB TT Premium Edition.
Many thanks to all those manufacturers who supported us with this test. As a little bonus for you, we also raffled some of our test samples, in particular
the NZXT Kraken X52, the Thermaltake Floe Riing 280, the Cooler Master MasterLiquid 240R ARGB, the Raijintek Orcus 240 and the Enermax LiqFusion 240 RGB.
You will find all informations in the video description down below. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.